Well, welcome everybody. A little early today because I took off to get my hair cut and run some errands and do some things. And I thought today I'd show you how to do the skin fitment. Let's get this over here. And this is not my normal time, so I don't expect a whole lot of action. We do have one person watching. All right, so now worry about this after I get this other one done. And we're going to need the scale because I want to know how much it weighs. We're going to lay up another bottom too. Get this out of the way. Let's change camera views. Hey, Craig Bizzard. Picture and sound are good. Great. All right. All righty. Well, this is... Oh, no, that's a disaster. That was pins. Oh, well, I guess I don't need that now. God, there's junk everywhere. Remember, I want you guys to build an airplane in your bathroom. And that'll give you an idea what I'm going through here. Use the bathroom sink top as the workbench. That was pins that fell down behind there. T-pins. Bummer. Hopefully they fell in that bucket, but probably not. Okay. So I left all my paint in St. Louis, so I went and got some more paint. Here's some more JB Weld. And I bought a little Hyper Tough mini scraper. And I bought it just for the razor blades. Let's see here. Yeah, this is pilot stuff. I will have enough pilot paint to paint 1,000 pilots. I use that on something else. Anyway. I didn't want to buy 100 blades, so I spent $1 on this. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hey, great, Richard. All right, so what you want to do is I molded this skin up last night. This is the thickness that I used as the base. So we're going to cut a piece out of this. We'll get a back saw here. We'll use this side right here. Okay, I'm gonna take one of these blades out of here. We're gonna take this blade and we're gonna lay it in between two pieces of wood. Like so. And glue it down. Probably have to use some epoxy, it looks like. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. I was looking for the old double edge razor blades, but they didn't have any. They said, we ain't seen those in years. So let's do this. Let's excavate a little bit. Get this blade set down in there on it. So I need to take about an eighth out of that. You young guys, be very careful. These razor blades are sharp. My hands are like, I've been a mechanic for so long, my hands are kind of immune to the sharp stuff. I still get cut, but not so bad anymore. Okay, set that in there. I only did that because the backbone is. I want to just glue this real quick. Yeah, it'll work. We're not building a watch, we're just building a tool. So what I did was I cut this top piece. We're going to set this flat on the table. So we'll put up on this side, up. And that makes a difference. All right, this is the skin that I molded up last night, ready to be unmolded or unwrapped. And by the looks of the way the grain was last night, this thing ought to be perfect. Because it laid down super fine. I did have a crack right there, but put that super glue on there and it was okay. All right, there's the skin. Now, in order for this to fit perfect, the way these ribs are set, it's got to be cut right to that line. Well, how would you get it cut right to that line? Well, you lay it on the table like so. You take your little tool that you just made with the thickness of that. You hold it tight against the table. Hopefully, maybe I'll move the camera so you can see it when I do the other side. So trimming that edge there was pretty simple. Trimmed it right up to the top of that line. I'll move the camera around the other side or a little bit closer so you might be able to see what I'm doing. I can't get the camera on this side. There's just no way. Let me see if I can do this. Can't do it on a tripod, but Probably can get it moved over here like so. There we go. Okay, you set this on the table like this. You make sure it's flat. You don't want to rock it back and forth like this. You want to make sure it's flat on the table. And that spine that I got here is up against the glass. You have the upside up, and you lay that down against the glass. And you just pull it along. Keeping it flat on the glass. Okay, that trimmed that off. Now we can remove it from the buck and test fit it. I'm going to have a little up. I'm going to have to add a piece of wood on the end there because we ran out of wood, but we'll see what happens. So let's put this over here. And we'll test fit it on here like so. See what Richard says. Do you add some ammonia? No, just plain water. And I just dampened the wood that was only in the bathtub. It was hot, the hottest water that would come out of the tap. And it was only in the bathtub maybe 5 minutes. So that's going to have to go this way a little bit. And I have to relieve that, so I got to cut a little bit off the end. And we'll cut an inch off the end. Then I need to relieve that in there, but first we're going to make the bulkheads. I want to show you how to make the bulkheads so that it fits on there. But this piece right here, let's see what it weighs. Feels good. I don't think you could carve a piece that's light, but 10 grams. So now we need to make the stations. Okay, let's see if I can find my back saw, my snap-on saw. I don't know what I did with it. Green handle. Probably won't be able to find it. Let's see. What the heck did I do with it? A lot of trash in the drawer. I need to clean all this crap out. I found another little fine tooth. Oh, this is a Zona saw. I might have another saw in another drawer. My buddy Dan ever gets my tool thing done, I'll have a place to put tools. I know you're listening, Danny. I have no clue what happened to that saw. Oh, found some scalpel blades. Not many, but some. a little file. Okay, we got one other opportunity here. Yeah, I might have a sawzall blade in here. I do. Okay. Sawzall blade. You could use a hacksaw blade. Oh, there's the saw right there. Okay, we're going to grind out this this bulkhead. What if it would break out of there? Yeah, maybe. Let's try that. Try to get it out of there. Yeah, there we go. Man, I really glued them in there good. Guess I didn't want them to come out. Hope I didn't get any epoxy on them. I will Z-epoxy this buck so I can use it again. Come on, get out of there. There it is. I just take the saw and clean up any of the wood shavings that are left on the bottom there from the glue. Now, we can use this same piece that I used. When you do these bulkheads, you don't want the grain running this way. That's the way your grain's running on this piece here, because that's where the string, you want it running up and down. That's not how I had them glued in. Oh, I did. Okay. You want this grain running up and down this way. So now what you do is stick that in there like so. You whack off a piece. Doesn't have to be exact. Just get it down in there so it's flat. This is CAD on the fly. Only reason why I'm cutting some of this off is because it's less to sand. Push it until it sits flat on the backbone of the buck. Come on. Knife is dull. Knife is dull or wood is hard, one. And the last piece, let's clean that up. It's not real good looking there. I could put the camera down here, but this is nothing more than just cutting it to a basic shape, you know, like so. You're just trying to fill that up because we're going to sand that down. Take your sandpaper. Let's do them one at a time. It takes such a little time to do. This is a flat rate airplane building. Okay, that piece there is a perfect representation of the inside of the fuselage at that station. So, make sure you keep it oriented right. So, we'll mark it forward, F, because it does have a taper in it. Did I get it right? Looks pretty good. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can glue this in to the skin at the station mark, which is right here. Forward, F. You see how perfect that fits in there? You can glue that into the skin, or you can glue this onto the fuselage. And I'm probably going to glue it onto the fuselage on this one here. So we got one made. Let's move to the next one. F, forward. And this is number 2. I'll put an F on this so it's forward. F, front, forward, what have you. I'm just trimming some of the big stuff off so I don't have to sand as much. Well, Dan and I were talking about grain of the wood, but you see how nice that molded? And I chose the grain specifically because I knew that it was going to do that. And that takes a couple of years of practice to know your wood, but you got to experiment. You know, if I just told you, you wouldn't really learn anything. You got to kind of have the experience to see where the grain's going to go. Like I told Dan, it's kind of like chopping down a tree. You chop a big wedge in one side and a small wedge in the other side, and the tree falls in the direction of the wedge that you plotted. So that's the next bulkhead there, and that'll fit perfectly on that station, and it does. And put an F on this for front. $14 and $9. 14 watchers and 9 thumbs up. Hit that like button. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think I'm going to glue them into the skin. That way I can set the airplane upside down on the bench over John's if I have to. Now you can make these molds better than I made them here. It really doesn't matter. I just tried to get through it as fast as possible. We're not building a watch, you know. I just need something to hold the wood. The only thing I don't like about molding, you gotta do the skins twice, make 2 pieces. But if I ever make another one of these airplanes, I do have the mold ready to go. We're gonna do a little fitment on that cowl, or the cockpit. That's why another reason I'm gonna glue them into the skin. Be careful when you're sanding this, because you can break that wood real easy if you have a long way to go, like this one was. That was 1/8 of an inch to cut. Now this one here, this bulkhead here, we don't need because it's going to go into the back of the cockpit. This was just to hold its shape, to give me my first station so I could get the angle. Now this one here, this mold here has been Z-epoxied, which I'll do to this one too. This is something that I thought up 15 years ago to do this way. Okay, that looks good. So there you have it. There's the whole process. Now, you have to make sure that this rib is parallel with that, all the way to the top, so to speak. So, and you don't smash it like I'm doing there. We'll go ahead and put a drop of CA on it. I just eyeball them as perpendicular. Like I say, we're not building a watch, we're just building a model airplane. Now you could twist this real easy, so don't put any undue tension on it. You just want to hold it in there perpendicular to the skin on the line. I know I'm not as funny as Rami RC, but I get it done. The next thing I wanted to do, is to carve a small block to fit inside there. You could make a little rib or whatever, but I'm going to do a solid block. Let's see here. Let's clean this up just a smidge. So it sits on there perfectly flush. Okay, let's try the fitment. We'll look at that and see how it works. Yeah, we're overhung a little bit. That's good. Yeah. Let's see what they said here. Do you add some ammonia? No. A brilliant way to make those formers and position them perfectly in the turtleneck. Yeah. Nothing beats the good old balsa building. The only way to make a true masterpiece. Well, you could. We're working on a molded airplane, but it's not going to be a molded airplane like anybody's seen. Fitment, fit it, and I can't express to you enough. Everything has to fit perfect, and it's pretty easy to get stuff to fit perfect. Okay, we want to, let's see. How wide is this going to be? Is this going to be enough? Okay, I'm going to put a tail post in this. It's going to be 1/4 inch. Now, we don't want to add a lot of weight to it, so I'm only going to put a 1/4 by 3/8 post in there, sanded to shape. Let's see, is that going to be enough? It'll be enough if I hold it back. I need to make a mark on it. So We need to whack this off, but I already got a mark on it. Okay, I need to put that in there right at that mark. So we'll make that 1/2 by 3/8. Yeah. Okay, let me cut this off. And now this piece here has to be sanded in this direction here, which is not a big deal. I mean, just an eyeball representation of the inside of the skin. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It helps if it is, but your eyes will make it about as perfect as it needs to be. Something like that. Only takes a second. We're going to drop this in here right on this line and pinch it together. Is this going to be good enough? Because my rudder is only 3/16. That's good enough. We'll hold that together and sand it off, and should be good to go. Now, the angle of the dangle I do a lot of hand fitment. By eye. I'll get this close, and I won't finish it off till I glue it down. When I fiddle fart with this, it will fit on there perfect. Just drop it right on. Okay, the angle is wrong, but that's not a big deal. Now, part of the fitment is up here at the cockpit. So I need to cut this back. Now, this is a little tricky here. If you guys remember my statement yesterday about guys saying they know how to do things because they read it in a book somewhere, this is showing you how to do it. And I didn't read it in the book. I learned how to do it. So the end of the cockpit is right there. We want at the end, we want a 1/4 inch stake joint right there. That's a 3/8 joint right there. So it will lap over when I cut this out. It'll have something to glue to, if that makes sense. So I got 3/8 right there. This will all be cut away. You know, the hole will be cut for the cockpit. So I want to cut this much. I could have made it perfect, but I didn't. I want to cut this much off of this. We have to get this married to that, and then I can form it the way that it belongs, if that makes any sense. So I've drawn a line on there. Well, this saw is dull. Let's see if this Sona saw is better. Oh yeah. I might use that front former because the line is right there where that former was. For the back of the cockpit, I could put a cockpit seat in it or whatever. But I need to get that fitted to this. Now, so this is approximately the right length. We're going to see what I want to do here. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut those off so I don't have that much to go. Now this will get sanded off after fitment, but I want to cut it down. What the heck happened to the knife? There it is. I want to cut it down so I don't have as much to do. So I'm going to take this knife. I'm going to leave it big, cut about an 1/8 inch above my line. Whack that down, that'll all get sanded. Because the fuselage is tapering over like that, and this is square up here. So we need to remove that square. So we'll cut her down to size. And that'll get sanded to shape. There's plenty of meat there. Now I need to have these bulkheads mate. So they go right there. Where's my ballpoint pen? It disappeared. There it is, hiding. And make a line right there. Line right there. Leave the line on. Now, if you look, let me get the camera so you can see a little better. Because that is the purpose of these videos, is to show you my secrets, to give you an idea how to do this stuff. Okay, we have approximately 1/4, 5/16 from here to there. Well, we're going to cut along this line right here. I need to get over there, or I need a sharper knife. One, put a new blade in this thing. This joint is called a lap joint or a stake joint. It's pretty strong. It'd be better if it was one piece, but I didn't, could I have molded all that in one piece? Yes. Did I want to? No. Too much work. Why am I having a hard time with this blade here? There we go. Throw this out so I don't get stuck. Oh, man. Build your airplane in the bathroom. See what happens. Okay, so we're going to make an incision right here, approximately 3/32 deep. Both sides. It should be good. Now we're going to excavate 3/32 of an inch from the outside. Oh, missed. So you end up with a little step like that. Now this thing should fit on perfect. Almost. It's not quite, didn't quite get enough excavated. So we'll keep cutting. Need to cut a little more off this side here. You could sand this and make it absolutely perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Nobody's going to see this joint. It just needs to be good enough to attach that skin. This is all under the canopy, so there's no chance for it to crack or anything because it's all superfill up here. And the superfill is hard as a rock. Perfect. Let's see what that side looks like. And that's that. Now, in order to make this thing look right, look like it's supposed to be there, we have to finish out the back half of the canopy. So it needs to come, let me put a pin in that to see where the back of that, yep, okay. T-pin. I dropped all those pins on the floor. I'll look for them after the show. I'll have to clean out that box. Come on, I got one pin right here. Okay. The back half of the cockpit is going to be right there at that pin. So, we'll mark it here. Mark it on the other side. Now this is subject to change too, depending on whether I like the look or not. That is the nice thing about building your own design. Do I like the way it looks? So there's that. Let me take this off here and match it. Get this out of the way. Usually what I do is I cut it close and sand it. Take a little here, take a little there. I don't know as if I like that or not. Get in here. Yeah, this here is gonna have to drop down. Yeah, it's gonna be a trick to get it sanded and to look really good. Let's look at the top here. It's pretty symmetrical. Okay, let's cut it up and I can sand it to shape. If I don't like it, I can cut some more, cut it a little bigger. What do I do with the knife? There it is. So, use your finger as a compass. Relieve it so it don't break. Yeah. That's pretty good. We'll see how it looks with the pilot in there, see if it's far enough back. If it's not, then I have to move it back some more, get a little more swoop on it. So I fit the skin in an hour. I guess I can do a push rod. I need to pick up the pace. That's what I need to do if I'm going to be ready for Saturday. So it's going to have to get sanded right here. Yeah, it's going to have to come back a little more. But that's pretty dang close. Pretty close. Let's see what the pilot looks like in there. I need a different pilot. Yeah, that's plenty of room. I guess that'll be far enough back. I need to get a floor in there, something for him to sit on. Put them on 2 pieces, 1/2 inch. Yeah, too high. Yeah. Too low. I'm just trying to get an idea if the pilot's going to be far enough back. And let's see here. Need to fix the camera angle. Well, is that better? So it needs to be swooped down that way. Let's see what it's going to look like with the cockpit on there, the canopy. Now, I still haven't made up my mind if I'm going to use this canopy or the other one. I think that one might look good. Should be right. Yay. I don't know. Gonna be one of either that one or the race looking one. I think probably this one. And of course, it'll get a oxygen tank back there, and yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be good. Okay. I do a lot of this, especially when I'm working here, because not only is this my workshop, this is my bedroom. I can sit and look at this to see if I'm going to like something for quite a while. Let's move this back and try to get an overall picture of this thing. There we go. So let's look at it. What it's going to look like with the rudder on it. Make sure I got everything correct. Well, that looks pretty good. Gets the big fillets in it, so we got to cut up some of them and see what they look like. I think she's going to be a real good representation of what I'm looking for. Not going to get any lighter on the top block though. 10 grams. That'd have been better at 7, but it wouldn't have molded as nice. But if you look at the fitment of this, when I pull this down and tack it, there'll be a 32nd of an inch to sand off that edge. It'll fit absolutely perfect all the way along. And hopefully the same with the bottom. this, we're going to have to work on that. I have to think about that. I don't want to glue this on yet because I don't have the push rods in it. I guess I can work on the push rod next. As soon as I get the push rod in, this can get glued on. This will stay loose, but as soon as I have the controls in and hooked up, I can glue the top on and the bottom. So I need to do cowl fitment and the bottom. I don't think I can save this bottom piece. I think the bottom piece is beyond savable. Because if you look down there, see how warped it is? It's bowed. I don't think I can pull that back. I don't know how that happened. This side's fairly straight, but this side here is way out. And I think it's because of the grain. I didn't study the grain in this piece of wood. If you look at this grain, the grain's kind of running at an angle like that. It doesn't go straight down the piece. So when I relieved it and let it set, it's trying to be a tree again and go back to the way it was with the sun. And so it's trying to pull in that direction. That's why when I showed the grain, the choice of the grain on this piece here, I chose the heavier piece instead of the lighter piece because I didn't want this to happen. So that turned out okay. So we'll mold up and we'll make another bottom piece. Let me tape this on, do a lot of taping. Let me get this out of here. I need to make up another pilot because I had cut his shoulders off to fit in that other airplane. I need to have more shoulder. Well, I talked to a guy today who got his shots, and he has his mask on. I said, "You got your second shot. You still going to continue to wear that?" "Oh yeah, you can catch it again. Catch it again." Give me a break. It won't be me, that's for sure. Okay. So there are some details I need to do. I need to remake this this horn because the gap is too narrow here. I have another horn, although it's a straight horn, but it is a 3/4 straight. So I might do that. I need more width, a wider horn, so I can do those round, angular pieces in this, like I've done up here on the flaps, where the angle of the flap here, it's turned this way, and then the fillet goes back into the fuselage, and that's the same way that needs to be done with the tail. And I didn't know how wide that was going to be Wonder how the plane would go for RC. Well, probably not very well. These are purpose built. I'm going to build that Dauntless. Dan is going to bring up the plans to the Dauntless. It's a scale like World War II airplane, and we'll do that. And I'll do that. We'll do that once a week for an hour. Work on that. And I've shown you this airplane is an hour a day. And I've shown you what you can accomplish in an hour a day. This is the second plane for the season. An hour a day. So what I was talking about here is I need to widen these up so I can get an angle like I have up there on the flaps. So that's one thing I need to do there. This also get some big fillets back here in this direction and along with the nose. So that, I mean, the ones on the nose are big. And then I have to decide, am I going to run banana wheel pants like Tom did? Yep, perfect fit. The stake joint or lap joint up here, that's a good way to do it. I'll use white glue on that. And, you know, this is, the nose block still needs to be hollowed. But I needed to get some type of fit, make sure that I was going to get the back half on there. There's a lot of work. There's 40 hours work left on this framing, I would say. Right now it's kind of in the planning stage. You know, I got to put it on. I got to think about it. What do I want to do? How do I want to make it work? You know, on the wing, it's pretty straightforward. The stab and elevator is pretty straightforward. The fuselage is pretty straightforward. However, now I'm marrying it all together, and I need to get it down in my mind exactly what I want it to look like. Because really, this airplane is not like, it has a lot of doodads on it. I just hope those doodads don't add a lot of weight. We gotta figure out how to keep the weight down to warp 9. So it's coming out real good. Made a few mistakes, like putting the elevator on the wrong side of the fuselage. That was not smart. That's going to get cut up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. I guess I can mold up another bottom piece. So how do I want to do this? We need to measure again. Yeah, 4 inches. So I can do this in one piece too. Now I have to pick the second best piece for the bottom, which I already have them out, so that won't be hard. That's a 15. I don't care much about the bottom if it's gonna. That's a 14. Okay. Let's talk about grain. Will it focus in here? Why is it? Let me turn this light off so we can maybe get some. Huh. I don't know if I can get the light to show the grain. Can you guys see the grain? There we go. Okay, this is real tight grain wood. This is A grain, but it's really tight. That other grain, the heavier piece was loose grain. Now, the thinner piece on this is 14 grams, and the thicker piece is 15 grams. And it's I can only tell by looking at it. It's, maybe 0.02 difference, and because no two pieces are cut in the saw absolutely perfect. This one's about 0.02 thicker than that one. Let's get a caliper on it and see. Of course, my caliper's not where it belongs. If I go ahead and put it where it belongs, I won't be able to find it. The heck did I do with it? Well, I know it's here. Nobody would steal it. Nobody could steal it. Well, take my word for it. It's a couple thousandths thicker. What the heck did I do with it? I'll find it eventually. We're going to use a thicker piece. It's a gram difference, but the grain. Look at the grain here. It's a PA 75. Look at the grain here. It's a little looser. Well, it feels kind of tight. This feels hard on this end. I might have to go through my pile again and pick a different piece. Even though these are light, it's got hard spots in it. There's a hard spot right here. Well, we'll have to pick out another piece. Might end up with another 21 gram piece. No. Okay. Yeah, this one here looks like it's gonna. Yeah, but see, it's a potato chip. When you look at it, it's bent. It's cupped this way and twists that way. You don't want to use that one. That would warp your airplane. There's a 17, same problem. Here's a 17, same problem. Maybe I'm going to have a hard time with this. Let's turn this camera to this one. All right, this is a 16. If you look at this piece here, see how it's twisted? It's like a propeller. If you mold that, it'll pull your airplane to that shape. Here's a 19. This is where a branch came off right here. That's a hard end. But the grain is nice on this end. That's a possibility. It's a 19. Here's another 21. It's got, see these dark splotches right here? That's where a branch came off. That's no good. Oh, there's a nice piece. Except it got 2 wormholes in it. Damn. Damn. No good. I need something with loose grain. Loose, straight grain. Here's a 25. It's a clear piece of wood, but no good. Here's an 18. Had a knot there, no good. So we have one choice so far. Now if you look at this one, the grain, it looks like it was cut out of the bottom of the log. The grain is running in a curve like that. That's no good. Here's a straight grain piece. Maybe this piece. That's a possibility. It's a 19. But if you look here, it's already starting to cup. So the way you're going to mold this is in this direction. And it's pretty straight grain. But it is a potato chip. I'll have to think about that. I'll put that one right here. Here's a 20, Bud Nosing 20. Pretty straight grain, but has a knot right there. Anywhere you see a knot, that's where a branch was coming out. And that could end up being a problem. Here's a 20 that's cupped. The grain is pretty straight. There's another knot right there. So it's either knots or wormholes. I think that's going to be the piece. Okay. Yep, here's the piece right here. Wonder what it weighs. 18. Okay. Let's go back to this other camera. Why did I say this was going to be the piece right away when I saw it? First off, the grain runs pretty straight down the board. There's some black in there, but who cares? If you look at this, this is loose grain. It has dark black lines in it. That means it's going to pull in that direction. And it's going to be fairly easy to mold. It's going to pull in this direction. And when you set it in the water, it'll tell you right away which way it's going to turn. And you don't want to fight against it. You want to mold it in the direction that it wants to go. Because it will always seek that destination. Now here's a 22, but see how tight the grain is? That won't bend, that won't mold, that'll crack. Here's a 23 with ring. They're getting up there in weight. 22, too tight a grain, it'll crack. Another tight grain piece, 23. This is RC wood here as far as I'm concerned, 23. I mean, my RC airplane is going to be lighter than anybody else's, but But if you're going to build competitive stunt airplanes, you need to have light wood, super light wood. Now this is a nice piece of wood, but you can feel it, and it's hard right here. Got a hard spot. I think that one piece that I just pulled out is going to be the ticket. But we'll look through them all. Too tight a grain. Now this looks promising, but when you move it, it's hard. You don't want to use that. I mean, I could soften it up, soak it long enough, but I don't want to take all day making stuff. Here's a 21. I could make that work. I use this on leading edge sheeting, outboard leading edge. When I get this wood, I usually know it's A grain. When I get this wood, I usually mark it for what it's for. Like I got flap wood in there, it's marked flaps on it. Well, there's a 20 that looks pretty. Oh, this is pretty promising right here. It's a 20, but it's got some rings in it. But we just cut that off the end. That probably would mold good. There's a 20. Got some decent loose grain. See what's bad is I can see this. It's hard on this side of the wood and soft on this side. So this side here, the right side would mold hard, but this side would mold easy. That's no good. So just another piece. Hard on this side, soft on this side. Same. 19. I mean, I think I got another box of wood I could look through. Might as well get the best piece for this. The 19 feels pretty good, so that's a possibility. Let me look over here. I got another file. Oh, but it's only 3-inch. I don't want to do 3-inch. I want to make it in one piece. So we got 4 possibilities. Now I'll put this back and make my choice. Actually, here's another piece. No good. Here's a short. It's a 19 and a 15. Let's see what this feels like. See, I can feel this wood would snap. 15 grams. But I'm going to turn that in a pretty tight corner, and it would snap. Now here's some decent looking grain. Well, that's the 19. We'll put that one down there. So I've looked through all my 4-inch 3/32. And I have some 3-inch light 3/32, but I don't want to put a seam. End grain, yeah, that'd be great. So let's get this out of the way. So the recap for today is yesterday I showed you how to mold it. Today I showed you how to get perfect fitment on the bulkheads and how to trim it. I don't think I'm going to go much longer on this because I'm getting hungry. Okay. I'm getting hungry. You know, this piece not only twisted, but it warped. Maybe that's why I didn't use it on the other airplane. It's light. Let's see why it twisted. I'm not going to ever use this again, but I want to give you an idea on grain selection, on why it's so important. If you look at this grain, and what I was thinking, I have no idea. This grain runs in this direction here. This direction here. And when you get back here, it runs in this direction here. We got this direction here. So the grain on this piece makes a giant swoosh like that. Let's see why. The lighting is just so bright that it's overexposing. There we go. You see how the grain runs on this piece here? That's why it's not straight. Why did I do that? To keep me from being tempted to use it. Because guaranteed, if you put that on your airplane, the stabilizer won't be parallel with the wing come summertime. Doesn't matter how you jig it or how you line it up. When the summertime heat gets on that thing, it's going to try to grow back to the sun in the direction that it was coming from, and guaranteed the wing and elevator won't be parallel. So let's put this out of the way. We don't need this anymore. We've made a perfect fit piece for that. We need to build us another bottom piece. What I'll do here is I'll get this laid out, and I'm going to cut the camera, and I'm going to eat dinner because I'm starving. Possibly come back on later. Don't know. But I need to measure and see which set of lines is the right set of lines for this. I guess I'll take this off and mark them. Gotta mark the bulkheads. So take the back half of the airplane off here. Phew, none of them. So I'm going to have to cut another set of set of bulkheads in this thing. Well, seeing as I got to do this, I might as well take it off, turn it upside down, and mark them exact. Huh. This one isn't quite long enough. And I don't want to make another one, so I think I'm just going to add on here. I don't want to make another one. That's what I'll do. Okay, what I've got here is this will fit and it'll work, but I'm 3 inches short on the tail. So I will add a block in after it's finished, because I don't want to go through making another piece. So we'll scab in a block this long and carve it out, and that's all the way at the back. I'll have to carve it, find a light piece, but it shouldn't be hard to make that. What am I building? I am building a Continental-esque airplane. So I need to mark these. I'm going to use this one. And this one. Not going to have any formers inside here, inside the front half of this. No formers. This former won't be there. I'll probably run a strip of carbon fiber tow inside it, glue a couple of strips of tow in there. But this could possibly have a pipe in it. So I want to make it so that if I choose to have a pipe in this, all I have to do is knock out this firewall, knock out the firewall on the front, cut an opening in it, stick a pipe in it. I don't want to have to rebuild the airplane. So thinking about that, I've already added the pipe tunnel, which is it's actually stronger to add the pipe tunnel than not have it, because it's 16th end grain from side to side, so it stiffens up the fuselage and makes it pretty stout, so it won't twist. And it'll get some X braces on top, just a couple of 1/8-inch sticks on top going this way and this way on top. On the bottom here, don't need it much. We'll set the tail wheel mount in it. So I have the bulkhead locations that I'm going to use. I can put this back now. Yeah, this is truly a scratch build. This is, I mean, I don't use plans normally. We were talking, Dan and I were talking about the dauntless that I'm going to build. And I really don't need the plans. All I need is a napkin drawing and some numbers. But I want to do it in such a way that the average RCer can do it. Because the average RCers are not builders, they're ARPers. I don't fly RC. I'm going to let somebody else test fly it. And then we'll give it away on the channel. It'll probably take me a year to build. But I got lots of RC wood. Okay. And this is coming along very nicely. All right, let's lay out this piece and then I'll cut the camera. Take a drink. Are you guys enjoying the Hanger Rash series? I mean, I need somebody to help me with my channel to sort out all these videos. Okay, we need a piece 29 inches long. The first thing I'm going to do is figure out which one I'm going to use. See, there's that grain going crazy. Can't use that one. So we'll put that stick away out of sight, out of mind. There's a good example of crazy grain. See how it goes? It sure is nice grain up here, though. God, I wish I had this whole piece was like that. We might try that one. This is hard on this end. Is it usable up here? Not really. Got to get one piece out of this. Okay, this is the piece I choose right here. The very first piece I chose. 19 grams. Got a wormhole there, no big deal. I'll cut that off. Okay. Okay, which end do I want to use where? This is the hard end. God, it is hard too. This might have to soak a while. I bet it's going to crack right there. Maybe I can cut it out of there. Try that. Try it this way. That's how we'll do it, like that. So I'm cutting the hard end out of it, or most of it. Maybe she'll loosen up when I cut this off. Okay, 2 inches. Of course, I didn't want to do that. Gotta make sure that's the way it's going to bend. Otherwise, I'll have a line on the outside. Nope, going to bend the other way. Going to bend that way. Man, decisions. Thing's almost flat. Yeah. Well, I hope I at least explain a little bit of grainage. Like I say, I'm not going to, as soon as I get this laid out and cut, I got to eat. I'm starving. I'm going to put that there and up there. No bulkhead there, bulkhead here, bulkhead here. We'll go ahead and put this mark, but there won't be a bulkhead there. That way I can get it the correct length. Hopefully my math skills will be better than they were last night. I couldn't even think. Didn't need that anyway. Okay, let's mark down the measurements here. Three inches. Three and 5/8. Let's see what this tail post is. I think it's about 1.5 inches. Nope, 2.5. 2.5. Station 1, Station 2, Station 3, Station 4 is 4 inches. And Station 5, it should be 4 inches. Four inches on 5. 2.5. 2.5. 3 5/8. 4 and 4. Okay, we need some other lines on there. Yeah. So it stays 4 inches all the way. Hopefully, yep, that's two, okay. Two and 2. Okay, that's good. That's good, so I don't have to do anything on there. What's half of 5/8? Oh man, it's 1.5 inches here. Can't think again. One and a quarter. 1 1/4. 2 1/2. What's half of 5/8? 7/16. No, that can't be right. Oh man. 5/16. Come on, guys, give me an answer. What's half of 5/8? Can't think. 5/8. Oh shit! Gotta think it out here. 5/8, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. 3. It's yeah, it's 5/16. Nope, that ain't right. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. It's it is 5/16. Okay. So 1.5 plus and it ain't right. Let's see, you guys got it figured out for me yet? 2 1/2/8, yeah. 2 1/2/8. I can't even think what the decimal is for 5/8. 875. Let's see here. 5/8 is 6250. 6250 divided by half is. Let me get my calculator out. Shit. Bad when I can't think. 6250 divided by 2. 3125. 3125 is That ain't right either. Oh, man. Yeah, I need food. No, 2 1/16 ain't the right answer. Half of 3 5/8. Okay, we're going to do it the old school way, the dummy way. John has a special ruler, 1.5 inches. That gives 3. 3 5/8. That's 3 2/8. So it's, yep, that's what it is. The measurement is 1 13/16. Let's see. That's 5/8, yeah. 3 5/8. That's 4 5/8. That ain't right. Oh man, I'm gonna have to eat. I know what I can do. We'll turn to technology. Hey Google, what's half of 3 5/8?
It's 1.8125.
8/125. A little bit. Yep, it did. I was right the first time. 8/125. What is half of 3 inches and 5/8?
Here's what I found.
Half of 5/8. Ask the expert. God, I didn't want a formula. 5/16. Half of 5/8 is 5/16. Okay, well I said that once. So we got 1.5. 1.5 plus 5/16. Right there. 1.5 plus 5/16. Right there. Close enough. Ain't gonna. I'm not building a watch. Should have paid more attention in school. Okay, here we go. So we got this line, this line. Yeah, Brett's probably laughing at me. Pi r square. Pi r round, cornbread r square. And I said 5/16. I don't know why that didn't register in my head. Why wouldn't it? Doesn't seem right. Probably because it's 13/16. I can't think of that. Okay, it's laid out. We'll cut it when I come back. I gotta eat. I knew I'd get it. It's just a matter of looking like an idiot. That's all right. Two hours today. We did 2 hours today. So, accomplishments, quite a bit. Yeah. 2 1/2 eighths. Yeah. You need food. Yes, I do. Like my haircut, almost standing straight up. Anyway, thanks for watching. If I'm so inclined after dinner, I may come back. No promises. Kind of burn out after today. I welded till noon. I did take off so I could get a haircut and do some shopping and go to the bank and run some other errands. Anyway, please like, subscribe, share the videos on your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google, wherever. Got to get more people involved. And that's why I'm going to do an RC airplane. Anyway, we'll see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.